Nehemiah wasn't a prophet. He wasn't a priest. He was a cupbearer, a servant in a foreign king's court. But when he heard that the walls of Jerusalem were broken and its gates burned, something inside him shattered too. Nehemiah's heart broke. He sat down and wept. He didn't complain. He fasted. He prayed for days. Because real change starts in the secret place, not the spotlight. When I heard these things, I sat down and wept. For some days I mourned and fasted and prayed before the God of heaven. Nehemiah 1:4. Before Nehemiah ever lifted a stone, he lifted his voice to God. His prayer was bold, humble, and full of faith. He reminded God of his promises, confessed the sins of Israel, and asked for favor, because Nehemiah knew if God wasn't in it, he wouldn't succeed. That secret prayer opened a public door no one expected. Lord, the God of heaven, the great and awesome God, who keeps his covenant of love with those who love him and keep his commandments. Let your ear be attentive and your eyes open to hear the prayer your servant is praying. Nehemiah 1:5-6. One day, while serving King Artaxerxes, Nehemiah looked troubled. The king noticed. Nehemiah took a deep breath and told the truth, that the city of his people was in ruins and he wanted to rebuild it. And the king said yes. He gave him letters of authority, protection, and everything he needed, because when God gives you favor, no one can block it. The king said to me, "What is it you want?" Then I prayed to the God of heaven, and I answered the king. Nehemiah 2:4-5. When Nehemiah arrived in Jerusalem, he didn't rush into action. He took time, riding at night, to inspect the broken walls. Quietly, carefully, he counted the cost. He saw the damage, and he made a plan. Then he told the people, "Let us rise up and build." And they said, "Yes." Then the rebuilding begun. By night, I went out through the valley gate, toward the jackal well and the dung gate, examining the walls of Jerusalem, which had been broken down, and its gates, which had been destroyed by fire. Nehemiah 2:13. But as soon as the building started, the opposition came. Sanballat, Tobiah, and others mocked Nehemiah and threatened the work. They tried everything: insults, lies, distractions. But Nehemiah refused to come down. He said, "I am doing a great work. I cannot come down." He kept building, with a tool in one hand and a weapon in the other, because building for God always attracts resistance. The God of heaven will give us success. We, his servants, will start rebuilding. Nehemiah 2:20. The people were afraid, but Nehemiah reminded them, "Our God will fight for us." Day and night they worked, rebuilding the walls, guarding their progress. Nehemiah led with courage, wisdom, and prayer, and the people followed, block by block, despite the pressure, because the wall was more than stone. It was identity. It was protection. It was hope. Those who carried materials did their work with one hand and held a weapon in the other. Nehemiah 4:17. And then, in just 52 days, the wall was complete. What was broken for decades, God restored in weeks. The enemies were silenced. The people rejoiced. And Nehemiah, he gave all the glory to God. Maybe you're like Nehemiah, not a preacher, not a prophet, just someone with a burden. If the walls of your life feel broken, if your spirit is weary, start where he did, in prayer, with vision, And when the time comes, rise up and build. So, the wall was completed in 52 days. When all our enemies heard about this, all the surrounding nations were afraid and realized that this work had been done with the help of our God. Nehemiah 6:15-16.